What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with another video on the Superman movie, aka Superman 2025, which is actually the real title, because if you Google Superman, it just comes up with a character, but if you Google Superman 2025, it comes up with the movie, because that's basically what the title's called. So, we've got another video. We're going to go over the full plot leak for the movie, which I believe could actually be somewhat true, based on a lot of things that were rumoured before they started filming, and also based on a lot of things that have happened since they've started filming. And sure, yeah, you could say, oh, it's made up since they started filming, but a lot of the things in this plot leak were realistically out there way before they started shooting late-ish last year. So if you are new around, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content that I try to cover personally on a daily basis. Could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below. Do you like to see a 21st century Superman who's in his 30s wearing the trunks? Personally, I seen a picture without the trunks on and I thought to myself, yo, Warstu, that suit looks a million times better without a fully grown adult wearing underwear on the outside. Because if that was cool, people would do it in real life, and they don't. I get it, it's escapism, but he looks ridiculous, and I'm just always gonna have that standpoint. And I hope the rumor's true that he's gonna have other suits in this movie. Also, if you could check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face Vanderbeer voice. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu. Alright, let's get into it. So before we go over said plot leak, there was some more images that were revealed, and because technically they're filming in public, that doesn't make the images public property or publicly out there to the point where Warner Bros could take you down if you post them. So a Lex Luthor, I can't make out if it is Nicholas Hoult or if it's a stunt double, but a Lex Luthor stunt double, let's say, was seen on set. Don't know if it's actually Lex Luthor, to be honest, because he was seen on set the other day and it looked like he'd grown his hair back, but let's be honest, maybe he shaves his head during this movie, we don't know. But it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of battle scars on his head. And I always find it funny when they walk around on set with coats on. It's to keep them warm, but everyone's like, yo, they're going through a heat wave in America. I'm thinking, yo, unless you live in a cold country, the heat waves even exist. Because if you live in a hot country anyway, it's just a lower temperature. So there was either the stunt double of Nicholas Hoult or Nicholas Hoult himself walking around looking very Lex Luthor-like with the shaven head. But to be fair, it looks like a bald cap. It looks like prosthetics. It doesn't look real. It's got a lot of scarring on his head. And something I missed on the previous video was Clark Kent's disguise. And at first, I thought it looked awful. But then I was talking to a friend of mine, and actually, I came around to thinking this is actually a pretty cool disguise, because it's not just relying on the glasses. Although he does kind of look like he's got a broccoli hair, sorry. It is a pretty good disguise if you want to look at it that way. And we won't post these, but there are some pretty interesting video. This is the problem when they film out in the open publicly. They can't film everything behind closed doors. And I do give props to James Gunn. He does try his best to keep everything practical in terms of practical effects. And obviously, I'm not going to give props because they're filming with IMAX cameras, because let's be honest, every superhero movie, in fact, every movie period now basically gets shot in IMAX. Why? Because they can make more money if they sell IMAX tickets. And also, IMAX has a much higher ratio. That's why directors prefer to shoot in IMAX. So give props to that. Now, what is funny is they're memeing the sphere that Mr. Terrific comes down on. You've had Ben Affleck stepping onto set. You've had Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, Lady Harlequin stepping onto set. It's a pretty funny meme, to be fair. And we've had a lot of first looks of Cat Grant, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Warstu, Perry White, so on and so forth. But at the moment, there's not really that much action going on, except for your boy, Superman, the new Superman. And a lot of people seem to think I'm very against David Coulthard being Superman. No, I think aesthetically, he does actually have the vibe of Superman, has the facial aesthetics. I just think the suit should be a lot better, and that was really my only gripe with it. So let's go over said plot leak now. This is coming courtesy of the Geeky Cast, who we've used quite a few times on this channel. Very reliable person. And obviously, I'm not saying that this is going to be true, But a lot of these things were said beforehand. And when James Gunn debunks something, and then you see someone on set who's basically Ultraman, and people are like, no, it's Ulysses, no, it's Black Noir, no, it's the Black Flash, no, it's Zoom. And it's like, let me get it straight. So there is no reason to hide Ulysses' face, right? Right. So a lot of comments in the yesterday's video goes, no, it's not Ultraman, it's Ulysses. James Gunn debunked that. He didn't actually. James Gunn just said Ultraman was not the overall villain, and we know that's Lex Luthor. No one actually said Ultraman was the overall villain. But they're hiding the face because it's going to be a clone of Superman. It's going to be a face swap, and it's going to be David Corenswet playing Ultraman as well. So the plot leak reads like this. It's on GeekyCast's Twitter account. So it reads like this. The rumor plot for Superman. And this is not saying it's 100% true. It's a rumor mill. You know, scoops, leaks, it helps build hype for movies. I know some people hate it, but I've been doing this stuff for 5-6 years. And generally, if there's a lot of leaks and rumors about a movie, generally that means there's more anticipation and hype for said movie. Superman has been active for a couple of years and is struggling to reconcile his human upbringing with his Kryptonian heritage. Yeah, I know James Gunn has already said that in the official synopsis. Like I say, this is somewhat a plot leak. It does give away a lot of details, to be fair, if true. Other superheroes are edgy and kill when necessary. Good. I don't think they should have limitation on the rules for them. Superman is an outcast amongst them for his optimism and his no-kill rule, and ultimately inspires them to change their ways, as Superman has got to be the most upbeat, inspiring, clean-cut, saves cats from trees, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes himself. The sonification of goodness has to be Superman, and that's why everyone didn't like the other interpretation, because it was too dark. But the problem I have is when it's too clean-cut is, are you going to get into a fight ever? Is there going to actually be an epic Superman fight in this movie? Well, let's hope there is. Lex Luthor is war profiting on an armed conflict in a foreign nation called Jarimpuria. Now, it is worth saying there was a foreign conflict in the original plot leak that Grace Randolph was talking about, and it got debunked massively. So if this one is true, it is essentially the same plot when it comes to the foreign nation, there being some kind of conflict that Superman has to get involved with. So if this plot point is true in the actual movie when we watch it next July 2025, then I hate to tell you, that means James Gunn was actually misleading you, but I get it. No director wants their movie to leak. I get it. But I just think sometimes he should just not say anything. Doesn't matter if fake rumors are out there, because it builds hype for a movie. The amount of fake rumors there has been for Deadpool 3 and the actual real plot for Deadpool 3 that is also out there is nothing like the original plot leaks. I just don't like the James Gunn debunk stuff. And I know what people are going to say, yeah, because then you can do plot leak videos. The idea of doing these kind of videos is we don't know if it's true or not, but if it comes from a recognizable source, you've got to give it some validation. Superman intervenes in a conflict, and the US government deploys a clone created by Lex, dubbed as Ultraman, to arrest him. Now, I know what you're going to say. This plot leak came out after set photos came out. Cool story, bro, but the Ultraman plot was out there months ago, and James Gunn debunked it. No, he didn't. If you actually read what he said, James Gunn debunked the fact that Ultraman was going to be the overall villain, and he said, no, you know who the overall villain is. It's going to be Lex. The only plot point that was out there was Ultraman will appear in the movie, and he will be played by Superman himself, David Corenswet. And I believe David Corenswet could be one of the greatest Superman we've ever had. If not, he could be the greatest Superman we've ever had. We don't know. People discredited Robert Pattinson. So let's just wait and see when we actually get to him appearing in said movie, and not judge him like some people are saying he's the greatest Superman ever because he can fold his arms and look up. There's even like people saying that him looking up, I've seen posts on Twitter of him looking up is him being a better Superman than Henry Cavill because he can look up. It's like, it's all right having hype and trying to build anticipation for a movie, but you're just lying if you think that one clip, that 5-second clip, of course, looking up is more Superman than Henry Cavill Superman ever was. If that's the case, you're just a fake Superman fan. And it ain't that deep for me. If you think that, you're just a fake Superman fan. Let's break it down. So, Ultraman deteriorates into Bizarro and goes rogue. Superman and his super friends must stop him whilst Lois Lane and the Daily Planet staff work to expose Lex Luthor for his crimes. The movie reportedly ends with Superman revealing his secret identity to Lois, Luthor avoiding repercussions for his crimes and announcing he is running for president, and Supergirl arriving on Earth. I mean, that could make sense. And they have casted Supergirl way before they started production on this movie. Potentially that could be the reason why. Plus other DCU setups like Engineer getting recruited into the Authority. If this is an actual real movie, I'd be down with that. I really like an evil Superman storyline. Lex being behind the war crimes, there being some foreign war conflict that Superman have to intervene in. I hate to say it, if this is real, this is basically the same plot leak that was out about a year ago that was debunked and people said, no, it's fake news, it's fake news. Because to be fair, if you break this down, does it sound that much different to the Black Adam storyline? Not really. If you ask me, conflict, superhero goes to try and do something in the conflict, is misjudged. I mean, there's only so much you can do with Superman. I know you're going to say there's hundreds of comics, hundreds of years, maybe not hundreds of years of comics, but there's a lot of comic book material you can pull from. Cool story, bro. But I wouldn't be surprised if this plot was actually somewhat true. And a lot of people keep saying, yo, you're wrong, it's not Ultraman. But why are they covering up Ulysses' face or Black Noir's face or Black Flash's face or Zoom's face? It would only make sense to cover up his face if they're trying to hide who he really is. Now, if he is Ulysses, like all you superhero Superman die-hard fans are trying to tell me, explain to me why are they covering up his face? It makes no sense. In fact, I had a comment of someone on my video yesterday telling me why it makes no sense. There is no logical reason to cover the face if it's UC because your average fan has no idea who that is. Ultraman, on the other hand, has been around since the 60s, and it makes more sense why they would cover that face, because they don't want you to know it's actually Ultraman as reported. That makes a lot of sense. And obviously, I don't think, although I have heard rumors that David Corenswet is literally playing the evil version, and I've heard rumors they're just going to CGI his face into it. But obviously, stunt doubles are used for all superheroes. Batman, Superman, even Thor. Like, literally every superhero has their own stunt double. Some have a few. So either way, from what I'm hearing, and I've seen a substantial amount of evidence, and if I have to sit on this and take it out, I will. But I've seen evidence that suggests to me it's definitely Ultraman, definitely being played by David Corenswet. If the storyline is true, I'm more hyped for this movie now than ever. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, check us out on Twitter, Warstu. You know, I'll catch you another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.